Hi guys, I hope you people are doing great. We'll be starting with question number 3 now. We are already done with question number 1 and question number 2 in the previous live sessions that we did yesterday and day before. I hope that question number 1 and question number 2 is now clear to you people. We'll be starting it in another 1 minute. Okay. So if you people have any doubts, we can discuss them as well, and then we'll move ahead with the question number 3. This is, I think, the most important video or the live session that we're going to have, because a lot of students do get tensed or nervous for substantive procedures, and in this particular question, it's all about substantive procedures, approach to follow, and what not to do when you're doing substantive procedures. So join in fast and ask your friends also who are appearing for audit paper in March attempt, so that they also take the benefit of the live session. No, I won't be privating it. It's fine, I guess. I won't be, making it private. It will be public only. No voice. There's no voice, guys. Just confirm me if I'm audible and I'm visible as well. And then we can start with the session. Quickly guys, just confirm me if I'm audible and visible. Okay, thank you Rajput. Okay, thank you Nasser. Thank you. Okay, let's start. Let's start with first understanding how to draft substantive procedures, how to write substantive procedures, because a lot of students are not aware, and some of them, I would say most of you people also learn substantive procedures, which is not what we do in audit, and this is for also AAA students to some extent, but right now we are solving AA paper only. So how to approach substantive procedures, let's first understand that, and then we'll be in a better position to answer the questions and understand that this particular case study also better, right? So whenever we are talking about substantive procedures, the biggest mistake that students usually do is learning the procedures, which is a big no. That this is something which you should never ever do, because if you're doing this, two things can happen. One is you won't be getting enough marks. Of course ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको बिल्कुल marks नहीं मिलेंगे, 0 marks मिलेंगे, ऐसा नहीं है of course, but then less marks you will be able to get for the pointers that you have written. Plus there can be also a situation wherein your paper is getting nullified. This has happened with a lot of students. आपने भी सुना होगा, whenever you get your results, and some of the audit students generally say that my result came nullified, and then they are thinking that why is this happening, what is the reason that my paper became nullified. I'm not saying this is the only reason, but this can be one of the reasons that you learned something which was not meant to be learned. Okay. So of course you have your notes, you have your list of substantive procedures, commonly asked substantive procedures, all of those are there. That is just for the reference part, right? If you just learn and stick to that, learn it, memorize by heart and write that in your answers without even looking at the case study, it won't fetch you enough marks. Okay, so that is the reason learning is a big no. Say no to learning. You have ample number of days till the day of your exam to practice the paper really well, right? So it's important that you practice substantive procedures really well. If you have a pen and paper nearby you, please take that and write these pointers so that it sticks into your mind. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing I would say that a lot of students do is writing incomplete substantive procedures. Writing incomplete means, see, basically whenever we are writing substantive procedures, we always follow three things. Like I personally tell students to follow three things. One is, 3 questions should be answered in your substantive procedures. One is why, second is how, third is what. So these 3 questions should be answered in your substantive procedures. If these questions are being answered, then your substantive procedures are complete. Sometimes students miss on writing why, which is basically writing the assertions. Now assertions are also very, very important when it comes to substantive procedures. Assertions like accuracy, completeness, cutoff, disclosures, anything on any of the assertions that we usually follow. So if you want, I can also make a separate video of just explaining the assertions and the verbs as well. So do let me know in the comments right now if you want me to make a separate video, because if I explain in this video, this session will become too lengthy, which I don't want. So assertions are equally important. And what, when you're talking about what basically means the verb that you are referring to, the verb that you start with. For example, discuss, for example, review, for example, recalculate. All of these are verbs कि आप क्या कर रहे हो. What are you doing? So basically, are you discussing with the management? Are you reviewing any supporting documentation? Are you recalculating any of the figures in the financial statements which is being given? So again, this is something which these verbs are again really important. Now one small mistake also students usually do is they stick to only one verb throughout the procedures. For example, the question asked you to write 5 substantive procedures, right? And you were very confident with the verb discuss. So all 5 procedures started with the verb discuss, which is again little something which can put off the examiner, because you have to have the variety. You cannot just stick to one verb and just make all the substantive procedures as per that. So I hope. And then talking about the how question, how is, if you are discussing, how are you going to do that? Are you discussing with the management? Are you discussing with the finance director? Are you discussing with the external auditor? Whom are you discussing? Sorry, internal auditor. Whom are you discussing with? Right? And for example, if you are reviewing, so what are you reviewing? Are you reviewing the supporting documentations? Are you reviewing the board minutes? What are you reviewing? So again, how is basically the documentation that you will be going to do using the verb that you're going to apply. Right? So these 3 questions have to be answered whenever you write a substantive procedure. Make sure that you are these 3 questions are being answered in the substantive procedure. Now next thing which we said a no to is learning portion of substantive procedures. Now you people will be asking me, ma'am, everybody says that case se relate karo, specific likho, case specific likho, but kaise likhe? How do we actually do it? People say कि हमें general नहीं लिखने हैं, हमको learn नहीं करना है. ठीक है, हम learn नहीं कर रहे हैं, but how do we actually relate our substantive procedures to the video? So just let me read the comments also. Bhumika says, yes ma'am, please make the video. Okay, the next video is coming on assertions. Ansh, good afternoon Ansh. Okay guys, I'll make the assertions video also, do not worry about that. It's coming next, okay? So again, now talking about specific substantive procedures. See, I think I have made a video regarding this previously as well, but I again will, because you people are live with me, I will be explaining it once more. Okay, so there are 3 things which I usually tell my students, that these are the 3 things which you can look and make your substantive procedure specific to the case scenario. And now you'll be asking me, ma'am, why do we need to make our substantive procedures very case specific? Okay, now consider a small example. This can be a little funny also, but then you have to understand the reason behind it so that you write your answers specific to the case. So if you people ask me any doubt, right, which is very specific to you, that you are not able to understand, for example, assertions, okay, and you come up to me and say that, ma'am, I am not able to understand valuation assertion, right, that is very case specific, very specific to you, that you are not able to understand valuation assertion, right. Now me as a tutor, as a mentor, I, rather than explaining you what is valuation assertion, I skip on that and I tell you something very random, very general, that okay, this is assertion and वैल्यूएशन इज अ पार्ट ऑफ असर्शन. बट आपका तो क्वेश्चन आंसर ही नहीं हुआ ना, आपने तो मुझसे पूछा था कि व्हाट इज वैल्यूएशन, बट मैंने बोल दिया कि असर्शन का पार्ट होता है वैल्यूएशन. तो इट डज नॉट, योर क्वेरी डिड नॉट गेट आंसर्ड बाय मी. सिमिलरली when the case study, when the examiner has given you full fledged case study and asked you to write the procedures as per that, कि अगर क्वेश्चन में कुछ गलत हो रहा है तो आपको सबस्टैंटिव प्रोसीजर उसके बारे में लिखना है, और आप कुछ रैंडमली लिख रहे हो जो कि बहुत जनरल है, जो कि केस से रिलेटेड ही नहीं है, तो अगेन द एग्जामिनर कैन गेट पुट ऑफ और मार्क्स नहीं मिलेंगे. वेरी सिंपल. सो यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट is the reason that why do we have specific substantive, case specific substantive procedures, right? Now talking about the three things that I mentioned, that what are the three things that you can take out from the case study and put them in your substantive procedure. First, I would say, is any figures. Guys, please write this down if you have a pen or paper, because then you might forget them. Any numericals in the case study, okay? So for example, they say $10 million something income happened, or $10 million profit was there for the year ended, or for example receivable is for $10 million, or they give you another figure, for example $0.2 million something. Some figures are given to you that this is the figure, this is the prior year figure, this is the current year figure, these many sales we are going to make. For example, number of tickets. So I'm taking the example from the case study only. So for example, they say that number of tickets is 6,500 tickets. So now they are giving you numbers, they're giving you figures, and you can directly use these figures in your substantive procedures somewhere or the other, right? So it will become very case specific, because 6,500 is not general, it is related to the case study. So always use these figures in your answer to make it more case specific, okay? Now sometimes what happens is we are given with one figure only, and उससे हमने अपना substantive procedure बना लिया है. Now I cannot use more of the numericals, right? So in those cases you can also use accounting periods which is given to you. Accounting periods like they tell that year end is 31st March 2005, और they give you another year end कि 2006 से 2007 का हम audit करेंगे, या जो भी whatever. तो accounting periods are given to you. So in those cases again you can use these accounting procedures. Majorly these accounting periods are majorly used in the cutoff assertions as well, and otherwise also you can use it. It's not that only cutoff error will be used in the substantive procedures. So you can use these accounting periods as well whenever you are writing your substantive procedures, because I would say 70 to 80% of the time these accounting periods are given in the substantive procedures. So again you can refer to these and write your answers, right? And the third thing is case specific words or phrases, okay? Something which is happening very case specific. For example, they say that there was a payroll fraud that happened previous year. तो जो fraud हुआ होगा वो आपका बहुत case specific है, आपका उसी केस में हुआ होगा. यूज दैट टर्म इन योर सब्सटैंटिव प्रोसीजर. और जैसे कि इतनी टिकट्स हमने सेल करी, या हमने एक इवेंट ऑर्गेनाइज कराया, या देयर वाज एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन विच वी पार्टनर्ड विद. सो व्हाटएवर पर्टिकुलर वर्ड्स या phrases आपको केस स्टडी में गिवन है, यूज देम इन योर सब्सटैंटिव प्रोसीजर्स. आई ऑल्सो अगेन दिस इज अ स्मॉल trick which I usually do. This is not for question number 3 usually, but for question number 1, wherein you have your risk and response questions as well. So you have identified, for example, advertisement expenditure हुआ तो हमने risk लिखा उसके बारे में. Same thing we can also use to draft a substantive procedure. So that is another little loophole which you can use, right? So again, case specific words you can definitely put in your answers, and again it becomes very very case specific. And another thing which is very small, I think it's not, if you follow these, अगर आप इसके लिए अलग अलग लिखोगे you will get case specific marks points, but then फोर्थ वन इज वेरी जनरल, आई वुड से कि अगर आपको कोई जनरल सब्सटैंटिव प्रोसीजर को स्पेसिफिक बनाना है, राइट, ऑफ कोर्स ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि इफ इट इज अ 5 मार्कर आई एम राइटिंग ऑल पॉइंट्स एज पर द केस. इफ यू आर गेटिंग इट वेरी गुड, बट ऑफ कोर्स हर केस सिनेरियो में दिस कैन नॉट बी द सिचुएशन. सो आउट ऑफ 5 I always tell students that you should be able to write at least 2 to 3 as per the case scenario, and then the rest one, the general ones you can write. But then if you want to make your general also case specific, at least write the company name. Right, for example, discuss with the management of XYZ company. Rather than writing discuss with management blah blah blah, write discuss with management of this company, XYZ company, regarding whatever your specifications is, right? So this becomes more specific to the case because you're using the company name as well, right? So I hope till now we are clear. Do let me know, guys, are we clear? Quickly. Then we'll be beginning with the case study. Okay, everybody says we are clear. Rajput says I've downloaded AA practice platform past paper substantive procedures answers, and they are all almost general. Can you please refer to answers? Yes, I am referring to that. Please wait. I'm solving the questions. I have written the general one as well and what you should actually do. So it will become more understandable to you people. Okay, let's start. Let's start with the case study, and after every substantive procedure question that we solve, I'll be taking a doubt session, and people can let me know if it is clear to you or no, right? So let's begin. So, okay, so first of all, whenever you have question number 3, it usually happens that you will be getting at least 2 to 3 substantive procedure questions, okay, and they will be giving you a bifurcation also. For example, I give you a background for this question also. You have your 3 substantive procedure questions, and the first one is asking you for the income, and there is a separate heading for income portion only. So what I tell my students is, this is what exactly we did in risk and response questions, this is what exactly we did in internal controls questions as well, that you do not read the full case study in one go, because ultimately if right now I just have to refer to the income portion, so it's better for me to only read the income portion. My inventory is not important for me right now when I am not reading that particular question and not answering that particular question, right? So right now we'll only be focusing towards the income paragraph, and then we'll be moving with the next inventory paragraph when we write the next substantive procedure, right? Okay, let's first read the question. Again, reiterating your accounting periods, meaning the dates are really important in audit as well, so do not skip on them, right? It is 1st of July 2005, okay, so right now the current date is July. You are the audit manager of T and Company, and you are in charge of final audits for 2 clients, 2 existing clients, which are due to commence shortly. So you have 2 clients with you. One is Montana Company, is a not-for-profit charitable organization which raises funds for mental health research with a financial year end of 31st March 2005. You have your financial year, you got to know that it is a not-for-profit organization, a charitable organization, right? Then we have Oklahoma Company, manufactures aircraft, so business is related to aircrafts, and has a financial year end of 31st July 2005. Okay. The forecast profit before tax for the year ended is $12.3 million. So you got one of the figures. Maybe you can use it, maybe not. It depends, right? So we'll just highlight it. Okay, fine. The following matters have been brought to your attention. Okay, so first read the case study. Reading the case study and understanding the case study is again really very important for you to write the procedures, right? Okay. Montana company generates income in number of ways, and the draft financial statements for the year ended is 31st March. This we got to know from above only, that their year end is 31st March. So 31st March show a revenue of $0.8 million. So you have the closing revenue for the year ended, which is $0.8 million in the draft financial statements, right? The company receives monthly donations because it is a not-for-profit organization. So of course they won't be having any direct income source. They will be having income via donations from its many supporters, and these are paid by bank transfer to the charity. So they receive the income via donations. Okay. Now, in addition, so this is one part of the way wherein they are getting their income is via the donations, and the other part is right now what they are discussing is Montana company raises significant income via two charity events which are held every year in April and December. So there are charity events which they are having, and it happens in April as well as it happens in December. Tickets which are $40 each, so that is the entry fee ticket probably, are sold via the entity's website during the 4 months leading up to each event. So they are sold via the website, and the cost per ticket is $40 each. The events in April and December 24 were attended by 6,500 people in April and 6,000 people in December, right? So we have a number. Make sure that you use these numbers somewhere in the answer. Okay. Attendees at the events can purchase charity branded merchandise. So again, there's another way. The first way which they are getting their income from these charity events is via the tickets they are selling, and the second one is when they are selling the merchandise also, such as t-shirts at one of their 3 stalls, paying by cash or credit card. During the audit planning, completeness and cutoff of the income was flagged as a key risk. Now here they have given you 2 assertions also. One is completeness and one is cutoff, and in the question if you read, they have not told you to refer to any of the assertions. So if you're writing a good answer, your substantive procedure should include these 2 assertions at least. Rest you can write anything because the question is not restricting you. But then if it is written in the case study, it is better if you also use these 2 assertions in your answers. Okay, so we have read the case study. I think it is pretty clear to us. बहुत छोटी सी case study है, कुछ ऐसा घुमा फिरा के उन्होंने नहीं बोला है. So I think we will be good to go with the case study. Now what I have done is I have copy pasted the answer of one of my student who wrote this answer in the test that we conducted in the test series. Okay, and I have copy pasted his answer, and I will now let you know how it is wrong and what is the correct way by which we can better the answer basically. Okay. Is it fine till now? Before we proceed on with the substantive procedure understanding, is it fine till now? Quickly let me know, then we'll proceed. Okay. Bhumika says it's clear. Any doubts, any questions till now? Okay, great. So I have copy pasted the wrong way of, guys please again if you have pen and paper with you, please grab that and write down some of the key points that you should keep in mind when you're writing the substantive procedures as well. Okay, so what is the wrong way of writing substantive procedure is this. Do you see, quickly tell me, we just now discussed some of the basics which should be there in our substantive procedure. Quickly tell me what all things are missing in this particular answer. Let's start. What all things are missing? How is it wrong? Tell me that. Quickly. Selena says figures. Okay. Which figures are not there? Yes, company name, very good. Some are missing assertions. Very good, very good. Great, great. For cutoff accounting period, yes, accounting period is also not there because case specifically mentioned about the cutoff thing as well. Not scenario specific, yes, we know that. Company name is not there, yes. Ticket 6,500 and 6,000, yes, yes. Yep. So it is clear to us that this is something which we do not have to do, right? This because here lot of things are not there. Some of them do not have assertions, some of them do not have, actually all of them do not have the name of the company, they do not have the figures from the question, they are all generic. Nothing as per the case scenario is mentioned, wherein the question actually gave you a lot of things. You had ticket price, you had ticket number, you had the figures, the revenue figures as well. All of these were mentioned, and even the years were also mentioned, right? So what is the correct way of answering substantive procedures? Now let's move ahead with that. Okay. Okay, first let's see this one. Okay, let's first come to case specific and then we'll come to the first one. Okay. Okay. Written in short form like management, yeah, that is one thing, but I think that that is something which we can avoid. When see, this is a draft answer, this is not a exact same answer. So again, short forms are not allowed in the paper. So yes, good observation, Bhumika. Will we have to write only completeness and cut off assertions in answer, or can we use any? You can use any. As I explained, the question is not very specific. The question has not asked you to only stick to these two assertions, so you can use any of the assertions. It's just that it is given in the case study, so it's better if we inculcate that in our answers, right? Okay, let's start. So first of all, we got to know that they have two charity events in the in the year. So of course we will be inculcating that in our answers. So if you see, for two charity events perform, this is my verb over here, which is answering. Which question is it answering, guys? What? It is answering my question of what, right? Proof in total calculation. So what are we doing? We are performing. How are we performing that? Via the proof in total calculation of the number of tickets which was sold, which is 12,500. So I have added 6,000 plus 6,500, which is 12,500 tickets. This is the number of tickets that they have sold. I will be multiplying with the ticket price, which is this, which is given in the question. So I've used the number of the tickets, I've used the price of the tickets, and then what am I going to do is comparing this to the income recorded and discussing with the management if there's any. So basically, for what are we doing with this specific case is that, for example, what is the total of this that should ideally come? This should be 5 lakh rupees. Okay. So for example, this is the actual amount that we should technically recognize, right? But maybe they have recognized an income of 4 lakh rupees only, or maybe not 4 lakh, 6 lakh rupees. So there is some differences in this. So this difference we will be discussing with the management, right? Proof in total calculation is basically checking the calculation. Right now, I multiplied these two figures, I got the number as 5 lakh rupees, and actually they have recorded in the books of accounts as 6 lakh rupees. So this is the proof in total calculation that I am doing. A small calculation to check that number of tickets what I have sold multiplied by the cost of the ticket, that is coming out to be correct or no. That is proof in total. Basically basic calculation. Okay, so this is a case specific driven substantive procedure that we can definitely use in our answer. This is very case specific. We have talked about the two charity events, we talked about the number of tickets which were sold, and also the amount, the cost of the tickets as well, right? And this also makes sense, right? Because I need to check if they are recognizing the income correctly or no, right? Okay, next. Select a sample of advance ticket sales. So if you read the question, they are making ticket sales made online. So they are selling it via website. So that is written, I have written online relating to April 2005 event. Again, one thing guys, let's move back to the case study once. So if you carefully notice, there are two events which is happening, okay? One is April and one is in December, right? So, and the year end, it is 31st of March 2005. So technically, if we go back to our answer, select a sample event and confirm that the transaction has been excluded from the current year income to ensure cutoff. This is important. Why? Because this event will not be recognized because every year they have their event in April and December, right? 2 years. So of course in this year they will be having in April and December. Next year also they will be having their next event in April and December. So we need to make sure, क्योंकि हमारा year end हो रहा है March में, so we have to make sure that the April sales are not included in our current year. April should be included in the next financial year, right? So that is the cutoff thing that we can mention over here, that we have to make sure that April 2005 की figures या sales जो है वो हमारे current year में mention है, क्योंकि हमारा year end है 31st March 2005. Got it? So again, here also we reference to the advanced tickets, we refer to the online because they're making it, via the website. Then it is, we also mention the accounting period because we're referring to the period mentioned in the question, right? And then we also wrote the cutoff assertion, right? We use that from the question itself. I hope it's clear. Then the next one is for merchandise sales. Again, I told you they're making two types of, income from, one is from the ticket sales, one is from the merchandise, right? So now we can talk about the merchandise as well. So now for merchandise sales, obtain, again, using the verb, obtain a breakdown of income received for each of the 3 stalls. So if you read this statement carefully, they are telling 3 stalls are being mentioned over here. Right, 3 stalls are being mentioned, so that I have written exactly from here. 3 stalls and agree to supporting documentations. So this is how are you going to do? Using the supporting documentations to ensure completeness of the sales recorded. So this is completeness is basically why are we doing so. So we use the completeness assertion also, we use the cutoff assertions also, we made it case specific also, we used all the figures from the question, we used the question, and we also use the accounting period. Right? If you want, you can also somewhere write the name of the company also. I have not written it. If you want, you can write that as well. Right? Now guys, let me know if these 3 substantive procedures are clear to you people. Quickly let me know, then we'll move with general one as well. We'll move with general becoming specific substantive procedures as well. Quickly. Are these substantive procedures clear to you people? Hanina says clear, Ansh says clear, Rajput also says clear, Salina says clear. Great, great. I'm so happy that you people are understanding these. Great, great, perfect. Okay. Now let's move, because this is a 5 marker question, right? तो 3 मैंने case specific लिख लिए हैं. अब मैं थक गई हूँ. अब मुझे लग रहा है कि let's leave it. अब इसके आगे मैं कुछ और case specific नहीं लिख पाऊंगी. Now let's move to another category which is general made specific. Okay, I'll give you a comparison for this one to make you aware of how actually we convert it. Okay, so if you go above, okay, this one. So I'll just copy paste this over here. Okay. Okay guys, so this is a general substantive procedure, right? Compare individual categories of income against prior years and investigate any significant differences. This is the general one. How do I make it case specific? I will go back to my case. What is the category that multiple categories that I'm fluctuating in for my income? I am going with my three things I'm getting my income from. One is donations, जो हमको यहाँ से पता चला कि monthly donations they are doing, right? Monthly donations. Second thing is the tickets sold, the events that they are having, and the third one is the merchandise that they are selling. So these are three types of income that they have, right? So when we go, यहाँ पे उन्होंने सीधा लिख दिया इंडिविजुअल कैटेगरीज, बट फ्रॉम द क्वेश्चन आई गॉट टू नो दैट देयर आर थ्री कैटेगरीज, थ्री इंडिविजुअल कैटेगरीज दैट इज मेंशन. तो आई विल इनकलकेट दिस, आई विल यूज दिस ओनली and make it case specific. So compare individual categories of income of ticket event, sorry, T I got is missing, ticket event sales, merchandise sales and donations. So three categories mentioned in the question only against the prior years, and investigate any significant differences by discussing with the management. And you can also write company name as well if you want, right? So do you see how do we make a general substantive procedure? ये आपने learn करा होगा ऐसा वाला procedure, but इसी को हमने सब specific बना लिया case specific use करके. Do you understand this? How do we make them case specific? Was it easy? Quickly let me know guys if this was easy. Great. Great. Perfect. Perfect. I hope it is becoming a little easier now. Substantive procedure less scary. Okay. Now let's, अब हमने 4 लिख लिए हैं. 4 substantive procedures are done for a 5 marker. Now we can move ahead with our general substantive procedures that compare average value of the number of donations which we are receiving by Montana. So I have written the company name. So this is purely general, but I have used the company name over here as well. So do not just write generic सिर्फ लाइन लिख दिया उसमें, बट यू कैन अगेन इंक्लूड द क्वेश्चन नेम एटलीस्ट, सो दैट थोड़ा सा इट बिकम्स रिलेटेड टू द केस सिनेरियो. प्रायर ईयर सिग्निफिकेंट डिफरेंसेस, ऑब्टेन शेड्यूल ऑफ इनकम ऑफ मोंटाना एंड कास्ट टू completeness accuracy and all of these are general ones, right? So now I told you 3 which were exactly case specific, 3 exact case specific wherein I did not refer to any general substantive procedures. One which I made general, 2 specific, and these 2 are purely general with question name into them, right? So with this we are done with our first substantive procedure. I hope that this is clear to you. This is something which I get a lot that you people are not, because again people do say that general nahi likhna hai, but kaise likhe specific substantive procedure, I think that is really important. So I hope that is clear now. Quickly let me know if it is clear, then we'll move with the next substantive procedure. If any doubts, please let me know. Can you please refer to ACCA? This is the ACCA answer, Rajput. This is the ACCA answer. This one. If you see, this is part of the ACCA answer, क्योंकि उसमें in the ACCA's answer, they sometimes do not include specific ones as well. I'm not, if there's any other answer that you want me to tell or refer to, you can DM me. So far it's fine. Confusion on assertions SP. Assertions SP, you want me to make a video? I'll definitely do that just for the assertion substantive procedures. So do not worry about that. I'll definitely make that. Okay. Let's move ahead with the next substantive procedure question. Okay. Describe the audit procedures the auditor should perform as part of Oklahoma's company before and during the inventory count. Okay, for this we have to read the case study. We did not read the case study. Let's do that first and then we'll come to the question, right? Okay, just a minute. Some glitch, I think. Assertions video is much needed. Absolutely. I'm coming up with that next. Don't worry. Oh God. Okay, fine. Oklahoma company inventory. Oklahoma is forecasting a draft year-end inventory balance of $10.2 million. So this is the inventory balance, closing inventory balance that they are forecasting. Okay. The company undertakes continuous production and a year-end inventory will be carried out on 31st July 2005. Now here there can be an issue of cutoff again. We can talk about that because their year-end is also 31st of July and they are doing the last inventory count also on 31st of July, right? At the company's factory and warehouse, no movements of inventory will be allowed on the day of the count. Okay, so they are claiming that no movements will be allowed on the day of the count. Okay, again, this is something which we can refer to for our substantive procedures. Let's see. It is expected that there will be significant work in progress, which is WIP, at the year end, meaning that there won't be any, there will be less of the completed goods and more of the work in progress. Work in progress comprises partly manufactured components. A senior member of your team is responsible for the audit of WIP and will be attending the inventory count as well as the final audit as well. Right? Oklahoma company values WIP by applying the estimated percentage of completion to the standard cost of a completed component. Again, this is something which is very case specific. This is also something which is very, very case specific, this part. So because if you see, there are no major figures, amounts given in the question, there are no major accounting periods also given in this question. So this question becomes little tricky to answer. Okay, so in this question, in this case, we will apply our last two techniques, which is using the words from the case scenario and using the company name in the answers, right? So because figures are less in this particular case. Okay, now the question is saying that we need to focus on two audit procedures, two types of audit procedures in the inventory only, which is before the year end, before the inventory count and during the inventory count, right? Now, a lot of students do, because it is a 6 marker, so bifurcation has to be there for 3 marks before inventory count and 3 marks for during. So 3 each points you have to write. Okay. Now, a lot of students, what they do is they combine these two and write 6-7 pointers. So again, it becomes little difficult for the examiner to see कि during वाला कौन सा है, before वाला कौन सा है. तो for presentation purposes, I'm telling you, always bifurcate. क्योंकि एग्जामिनर के लिए जितना इजी होगी, जितनी आपकी प्रेजेंटेशन अच्छी होगी, उतना इजी होगा एग्जामिनर को to give you marks, right? Okay, similarly, let's do this for this question as well. This question I will be asking you guys more क्योंकि हमने अभी just समझा है how to write substantive procedures. So let's see how much did you understood. Have you understood? Let's start. Okay, let's first see the wrong way. Now this is, I would say that this is not a complete wrong way. Okay, let's see how many of you can determine कि क्या गलती है and which is fine, which we can definitely use. This is the only answer. Before and during is combined in this. What is the problem in this substantive procedure? Quickly let me know, then we'll do the answers also. Okay, Rajput, we'll be doing that as well in the video. Quickly let me know, guys, what is wrong over here? Use company name. Okay. What else? No assertions used. Okay. Great observation. I think reasonableness is one of them. Yeah, I think they have not used them. ठीक है. Not telling why. Yes, yes. Anything, any of these substantive procedures do you think is okay? We can use it by including company name or something. We can little bit customize it, but we can definitely use it. Anybody? Okay, let's move ahead. So this is substantive procedures. I would say, because see guys, again, her question में, as I previously told you people as well, that in every question there is possibility कि आपको ना मिले figures, ना मिले accounting period. So in those cases you have to use your another two techniques, which is writing the name of the company in the general substantive procedures only, and writing the using the case specific wordings from the case in your answers, right? Now because यहाँ पे हमको एक bifurcation देनी है before inventory count and during the inventory count, so technically it is for 3 marks, right? Now out of 3 marks, I would say even if you are able to write one as per the case scenario, because again very specific, I'm talking about this as whole specific, okay, not the partial specific one. If you're able to write one at least, it will be good to go. Second and third, you can write the company name, little bit general, and I think then it will be fine, because it is again 3 marker only, right? Point 4 can be used. Okay, we'll see. Not using standard cost. Yes, standard cost was mentioned in the answers. We can definitely use that as well. Okay, okay, let's see the correct way. So first of all, let's discuss the before inventory. As I told you, there should be a bifurcation between the before one and the after one. So discuss with the management of Oklahoma company, as I mentioned, the company name you can mention, whether any significant changes have occurred this year with regards to inventory items or locations, because they're told that they are in multiple locations. So that is the reason I have used little bit of that angle to check if, you know, previously were there any significant differences in terms of the items, की number of items उन्होंने बढ़ा दी अपनी inventory में, या locations कोई changes करे हैं, warehouse change करा है. तो इस case से we will be able to identify any significant differences, right? This is the first one. Then prior to attending the inventory count, which is before only, which is doing, discuss with the management of Oklahoma company how the percentage, now this is very case specific, okay, how the percentage completions are attributed to WIP, I'm sorry, and whether this is based on aircraft components passing certain stages in the process. Now this is very, very case specific, because if you see the question over here, they talked about the percentage as well. If you read, yeah, estimated percentage of completion to the standard cost, this part as well. So I use this percentage because they are using the percentage of that into their inventory also before the counting is done. So whether it is based on the aircraft. Now the company is is working in aircraft industry, so we use that as well to make it case specific. So we are discussing with the management of Oklahoma company, again name of the question, how the percentage completion are attributed to the WIP and whether this is based on the this components passing certain stages in the whole process of inventory valuation, right? Now the next one is obtain a copy of proposed inventory counts instructions. So they told that there will be some instructions. Of course, when you have inventory counts, this is I think more general. This is not too specific to the case, I would say. This is a little bit general. So obtain a copy of proposed inventory count instructions, because audit team will be having some instructions that this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to do. So you have certain instructions, review them to identify any control deficiencies and discuss the same with the management. Now what all you can include over here, you can write the company name over here, right? You can also write the year. I think they mentioned the year also, right? Yeah, 31st July 2005. You can mention the year also, 31st July 2005 over here if you want, right? And then we can also write, do you think that we can use $10.2 million anywhere in the before one? Let me know quickly. Can we use the amount of $10 million anywhere in in the before inventory count procedures, or anything else that you want to add? Correct, correct. Very good, Rajput. No, because inventory valuation will be estimated after the inventory count is done. Very true. Before तो हो ही नहीं सकता, हम अभी तक हम तो काउंट ही कर रहे हैं. So this figure we actually cannot use. Right now use नहीं कर सकते. After के बारे में पूछ रहे हो तो definitely we can use this. Anything else? Any other point that you people are able to think of? I was only able to think of these three. Anything else that you people think that ये add हो सकता है? Any general or general to specific or specific substantive procedure that we can add over here? Quickly, guys. Okay, silence, no answers. ठीक है. So if you want, you can also include the company name, or you can use the year end of 31st July, this figure also, right? Locations previously audited with high variances should be checked again. Correct, yeah. This is one general procedure that you can write. Correct, Nikita? Okay, great, great. Now let's move ahead with the next procedure, which is after the inventory count, right? Prior year audit papers. I think I wrote that, no? Okay, we can talk about the audit papers as well. Prior year audit papers. Correct, correct. Okay, perfect. Okay. Now let's move ahead with the next one, which is after inventory count. Now, sorry, this is during. I'm so sorry. During. Now, as an auditor, because they are saying me, if you read this carefully, a senior member of your team, which is audit team, is responsible for the audit of WIP and will be attending the inventory count as well. So one of the team members of the audit team will also be attending the inventory count, right? So during the inventory count, I will be observing the procedures for movements of inventory count to confirm that all movements have been seized, because in the question they mentioned that no movements of the inventory will be allowed on the day of the count. Right? So as an auditor, I will be observing कि उस दिन पे उन्होंने वो सब seize करा है कि नहीं करा है. Right? So this is one case specific. This is specific substantive procedure which you can write. Right? So यहाँ पे again I have not written the name of the question. You can definitely include that also. Right? Okay. Next one is obtain copies of last goods received notes and goods dispatched notes for 31st July. This is the year end. And 1st August. So this will be the next year. So this is the current year. This is the next year. In order to perform cut-off procedures as at last year end. Of course, because they are, again, I mentioned this previously as well, that because you are having a year end of 31st of July and you are making the inventory count, the last inventory count is also happening on 31st of July. So there can be cut-off issues in the sense that some of the inventory which was part of this year got missing and we did not count it, and then will be counted in the next financial year. So that should actually not happen, right? That is the reason we are taking the copies of the GRNs and the GDNs from this year and from the next year also, the first day of the next year, in order to perform the cutoff testing. Clear? This is also specific. You can also write the case name over here, the company name over here, right? Next. Observe procedures. I'm sorry for the spelling mistakes. I just wrote it very quickly. Before procedures carried out by Oklahoma company, staff is assessing the level of WIP and consider reasonableness of the assumption. This is now very general, in which I have written the company name. So you're observing the procedures which are carried by the company staff in assessing the levels of the WIP, that how much of the inventory is actually part of your WIP. right? And then we'll be assessing the reasonable of the assumptions. I hope now we are clear. This was little challenging because no specific information was given to us, but I think we were able to manage it. Any doubts, guys? Is it clear? Quickly let me know in the next 1 minute, then we'll be moving ahead with the next substantive procedure. Any doubts, any questions? Okay, Selena says clear. Great. Let's move ahead with the next substantive procedure. I think that's the last one for this question. Okay. Okay. Describe substantive procedures the auditor should perform during the final audit to obtain a sufficient and appropriate audit evidence in relation to the valuation of Oklahoma's work in progress. So basically we have to only refer to this last paragraph to be able to write our answer, and we have to focus mainly upon the valuation assertion as well, right? If they have given us some assertion, that does not mean कि पूरा ही answers आपके valuation पे based होंगे. Mostly it has to be based upon valuation. Another, you can 1 or 2 maximum depending upon the marks you can write, right? Okay, so this is a very short 4-marker answer. So 4 points we need to write. Let's see, let's discuss. Guys, firstly, let me know what substantive procedures you can think of for this one. Let's see. Quickly let me know what are the substantive procedures that you can think of for work in progress, which is case specific. I want case specific ones. Yes, Rajput, you can write that as well. Quickly guys, anyone, I just want one from everybody. One case specific substantive procedure for this C part, and then I will be explaining it. Quickly guys, just one substantive procedure. Okay, I do not see any answers, meaning that you people are not able to form. Is that so? Okay, no problem. Let's start. So basically this is a 4-marker. So technically maximum 2 we should be able to write as per the case, and then rest can be the general ones, right? Okay. Let's read. Agree sample of work in progress assessed during the count. So during the count we're assessing the value of this to work in progress schedule of this. So what is the actual value which they used in the schedule, and what is the samples that we have collected during the inventory count? We will be taking the samples of those and confirming that there's a percentage of completion. So again, they refer to the percentage completion over here. Yahan pe Oklahoma values WIP by applying the estimated percentage of completion, right? So again, this is case specific, using the percentage completion is correct and recorded at the count. So this is case specific procedure. So what are we doing? We are agreeing the samples of the WIP during the count which we are doing to the schedule which was actually, the company said it will take place, and we will confirming the percentage of the completion if it is correct or no. So this is majorly related to your valuation assertion, the first one, right? Okay. Discuss with management of, again यहाँ पे भी I have used the company name. Okay. Discuss with management of Oklahoma company basis of WIP valuation. So what is the basis of the valuation that the company is following? I need to first know that. I'll discuss it with the management to understand that and assess how the percentage completion have been set and assess the reasonable of the approach. So first of all, I'll be understanding the approach of the management. Then I'll be understanding how the percentage of completion, the assumptions that they have taken forward is going forward with, and then I'll assess the reasonableness of that approach as well. So पहले क्या हो रहा था, मेरी percentage of completion में क्या हो रहा है, then I'll be comparing and seeing if it is reasonable or no, right? This is more so generic made specific, I would say. Okay, again यहाँ पे भी we are testing the valuation assertion. Great. Calculate the cost of WIP and compare with NRV to ensure WIP valued following IS2 inventory. You can write this, but this is very general. I feel that. Very general. Okay, next. This is very, very general. Recalculate WIP amount using the stage of completion of Oklahoma's procedures. Guys, what is missing over here? Can anybody tell me what is missing over here? Something is missing, and that I have missed it not by mistake. What is missing over here? Quickly tell me what is missing over here. Amount. Which amount? I don't think so there was any amount given for work in progress. Was it? No. No, Nasir, not amount. No. Guys, assertion is missing over here. Do you see any assertions here? What is the assertion? I'm just recalculating the amount using the stage of completion, using the procedures. So that's fine. But what is the assertion? Why am I doing that? What is the reason of me doing this? To check what? Now let me know what is the assertion over here. Assertion of accuracy. Correct, Rajput. Very good. That is the reason I am recalculating to check if it is accurate or no, right? The amount using, the WIP amount is correct or no. So that is the reason I'm using the accuracy. If it is in my books of accounts, if it is accurate or no, using the stage of completion which they are at. Right? So this is something which is missed on. This is what I was mentioning previously as well, that students write incomplete substantive procedures. अगर ये मैं लिख देती मुझे पूरे marks नहीं मिलते पेपर में, and you will be thinking because this is general. No guys, not because it is general, because you have not written complete substantive procedures. आपने accuracy की assertion नहीं लिखी है इसमें, right? That was the reason. Okay, great. Now let's read the last one and then we'll be done with this one as well. Okay, select a sample of items included in WIP at year end. Agree cost to be, this is again more so general, okay, more so general I would say, because, and yeah, this is general I think, yeah, okay. Agree cost to be included to the completion to relevant supporting documentations, and you will be comparing the same to unit sales, sorry, this is sales, price included in sales invoices at the year end, and you can write the company name also over here. So 2 general, 1 general made specific and 1 completely specific, and I have also used the valuation assertions over here. Correct? Any doubts? Any doubts? I'll give you 1 minute to ask away your doubts, and then we'll be moving ahead with the last portion of the case study, and then we'll be wrapping up with the live. Quickly. Any doubts? Any questions? Till now, we are done with substantive procedures, guys, for this case. Okay, quickly. Is it clear? Is everything clear now? Any doubts, any questions? Last point is not clear. Okay, just a minute. Okay. If you see this one, okay, this is again very general, okay, this is not related to our case study. So what are we doing is we are selecting a sample of the items that we have included in the WIP at the year end. So WIP includes the all the materials which is incomplete and not, it's still in completion progress, okay. Then we will be agreeing the cost to be incurred to complete the WIP process to the relevant supporting documentation. So that can be anything, any document you can compare with. So you will be taking the samples of the items of the WIP and you will be comparing the cost. Again, here we are more related to the valuation assertion only. So we will be looking at the cost of the inventory, the valuation, the work in progress inventory, and then we'll be comparing the same to the unit prices that we will be selling, the sales prices that we'll be including the sales invoices. Okay, so we are comparing the cost of our inventory to the selling price that is included in the sales inventory to have the valuation of our work in progress, that what is the value of our work in progress, the inventory which is there in our work in progress, right? That is what is mentioned over here. I hope it is clear now. Quickly guys, I think we are running out of time. Great, Nikita says clear. Okay, let's move ahead with the last one now, and if you have any doubts you can definitely DM us or you can comment down also. Okay, so the last one is related to your audit report portion. Again, this is I think one of the portions which is very underrated, okay, and I am coming up with another video for this topic as well, specifically for this topic, because I think that many of this is I think far more easier than any other topics that you have done. Substantive procedures I think is very you know on the steeper side, but then this portion, these 5 marks are very easy to grab if you understand the concept at once. Okay, so if you read the question, during the testing of Oklahoma's work in progress, the audit team has identified that the company has applied an incorrect percentage completion when determining the value of the number of partly completed components, and that is why we also had substantive procedures for this particular process, right? Audit testing has confirmed that the work in progress balance is overstated by $0.7 million. The directors of Oklahoma company do not consider it necessary to amend the financial statements. Okay, quickly guys, I want to know that if you were answering this question, how would you start, what all, quickly just one liner pointers, how would you start the answer? Just let me know that. You can DM us on Instagram or WhatsApp as well. Quickly let me know how would you start this answer. I'm not asking if it would be what opinion. I'm asking how would you start. Quickly guys, quickly. Yes, Nikita is correct. Nasir, you straight away start with the materiality, or will you write something also before that? Describing the issue, effects and profits. Yes, Bhumika. Not surely effects on profits, I think that can be skipped, but yeah, you can definitely talk about that as well. Okay, yes guys, we'll be first, see, whenever we are writing these audit reporting question, I see a lot of students straight away starting that like I think somebody mentioned, Nasir mentioned that you first talk about the materiality and then straight away you dive into the opinion. But first you need to explain what is the problem, right? They gave you the problem in the question, so at least discuss that. So discussion of the problem should be the first priority. I'll just write over here. You can also write them simultaneously if you have a pen or paper with you. So discussion of the issue, right? So basically discussion in the of the issue, but what we'll be writing is, and we'll be copy pasting from here. Okay, and you can change the wordings. Do not copy paste guys. Do not say that मैम ने बोला था copy paste करने को, copy paste कर दिया. नहीं, copy paste कर दिया, इसको थोड़ा सा wording change कर दो. And incorrect percentage completion when determining the value of a member of partly completed was identified. Audit testing has confirmed that the work in progress balance is overstated by this. Then you make a small paragraph. The directors do not consider it necessary to amend the financial statements. Okay. Financial statements, right? This is what you will be writing. So now you will be talking about the second thing, which is your materiality. Guys, quickly let me know what is the materiality of this. We will be comparing $0.7 million to what? Two things we'll be comparing. We'll be comparing the amount to our profits, as well as we'll be comparing with the inventory also if you want. That is completely subjective. First of all, we'll be comparing it to the profits. So basically, if we 0.7 divided by what is the profit? 12.3 million. So the materiality will come approximately to about this percentage. So it is material. Then you can also compare. You have the value also. Okay, you have the value over here, which is about approximately 10.2 million. Yeah, you can compare with this amount as well. So 0.7 divided by 10.2 million as well. This will give you how much? This will give you 6.9%. So this is highly material. 5.7% of our profits, 6.9% of the inventory. Therefore, this is material. And then you will be talking about the amendment that you need to have. Amendment or basically the adjustment that they should have been done. The adjustment करनी चाहिए थी हमको financial statements में, and if they are not doing so, then we will be having a qualified except for opinion. And why this? Because matter is material but not pervasive. right? So qualified except for opinion, because you also had the reason that it is material but it is not pervasive, right? And then you will be talking about the last thing, which is very, very important, and 90% of the students skip writing this, is basis for qualified opinion paragraph. A lot of students, I think, whenever I check this answer, 90% of the students do not write this last line, last statement, which will fetch you 1 full mark, which is basis for qualified opinion. So you start with discussion of the case, discussion of the issue, then you move ahead with talking about the materiality, whether it is material for us or no. It can be material by amount, just in this case it is material by amount, and it can also be material by nature, right? That is there. And then you talk about that there should be an amendment or there should not be an amendment. Why? Because it is material but not pervasive. Therefore, we'll be having a qualified except for opinion, and then you will be talking about the basis for qualified opinion paragraph as well, right? Correct? Rajput, inventory इसलिए, why? Because we are talking about work in progress. So because we are given the amount of inventory, so we can definitely compare it to the inventory also. यहाँ पे they gave you inventory balance only, and यहाँ पे we are comparing the work in progress. So this is inventory. We are not comparing with the assets. We are comparing with the inventory. So it is comparable, I feel. Right, guys? So I hope it is clear to you. This sequence is clear to you. And never miss out even one of these pointers out of these, or else you will not be able to get full 5 marks. With this, we are done with the question number 3 as well. And with this question, we are done with full past paper, which is the latest past paper, September-December 24 past paper, a debrief as well. If you have not watched question number 1, question number 2, you can go onto the YouTube playlist and you can watch those. And let me know if you have any doubts, and also let me know if these sessions were helpful for you. I have done 3 sessions till now. Let me know if you want me to do any further sessions also live. Cool. Assertions, okay, done. Assertions is the next video that we're going to do. I'll try have a live session only, but if not, I'll definitely curate a video. Marathon to revise all important concepts, maybe. Okay. We can think of doing that as well. Sure, assertions is the next thing that we are going to have, definitely. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Rajput. Thank you for joining, guys. I hope it was clear. It was little easier for you people to understand, because that was my sole motive, to make substantive procedures easier for you people. Great. Thank you so much, guys. If you missed on any of the pointers, this live session will be uploaded on the YouTube for free publicly, so you can watch, you can watch the video as well. Great. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a good day.